And we're back in Diablo 4, and in this video, we're going to push some nightmare dungeons. Now, recently, I've been doing pretty well. Not super fast, but I have actually pushed to tier 39. And now I actually went and did a quick craft, hoping for actually this. I wanted in the 40 range, but nothing too hard. Because I've technically done something super high, and it didn't go well. So we're at tier 41. We're level 78. Our gear is good. It's not fantastic. We're missing certain skills, certain stats. If you remember my last video, we talked about which weapons are the best, and it's really just comes down to stats. Whether you're doing one or two. Hand or weapon, and realistically, I just haven't gotten perfect gear. I have a couple of good things here and there, and then realistically, just some good stats, but nothing perfect. We're kind of rounded, but we don't have any like real big oomph, no big punches. So I want to see how high we can punch above our weight class. So it looks like we're gonna attempt 41. So let's see how this goes. Now, I mentioned I've already tried to do one that was way higher. It was in the 50s. I don't think it was the high 50s. It might have even been 50. But the mobs inside were 103. We could kill them, but literally, I got hit once, and I popped like a balloon. So I want to just see what is reasonable in terms of survivability. What's the highest I can do? Now this isn't something that's going to be sustainable. That you don't want to run the highest nightmare dungeon that you could possibly do because it's slow. Realistically, when you're leveling up, you just want to do a couple of levels above you so you can maximize on your experience gain. It doesn't have to be, shoot for the moon. But I'm going to, just because I want to see where is our build at. Are we strong enough to really push it? What could we look at in terms of getting it better? I think in improvement-wise, I really need to start getting some better... that has perfect minion attack speed, but I think there's a few pieces of gear that could provide me some extra minion attack speed and some other, like, summoning skill damage. So we just gotta look... Oh, and I know, for example, on our helm, I've been dying to reach for just intelligence. I think I was really trying to get in this helmet, and now I think it's over 2 million to reroll, so it's not even worth rerolling anymore. So hopefully getting a better helmet at some point. But we have good resistances. A lot of our gears get resistance on it, so. All right, so these mobs are 95. That's not awful. Our minions didn't take too much damage. That was just a simple trash mob. Nothing too extreme, no elites yet. A little mob ball will be a good test. This isn't horrendous. I also think I might want to start getting more crit chance. I think we really need it, because I believe our minions do benefit from that. So crit chance would be ideal, and I'm an absolute bozo, but it's okay. Actually, let's just take a crit chance potion and increase our crit chance and see how this goes. I should have probably brought, in that case, my two-handed weapon for like that insane extra 100% damage. But the shields were a little bit more well-rounded. So far, so good. Yeah, I think obviously this, like I said, this isn't sustainable. This isn't something I'm going to want to do regularly because it's extra slow and it's not going to really warrant me that much experience gain in terms of time spent in here. I don't know. I don't think the gear drops the item levels are based off of the dungeon level. I think it actually has to do more with what your level is. It might be a little bit of both. I haven't read on it. I'm not certain. People already probably know. Actually, I can guarantee people already do know, but I just haven't really investigated too much on the item drops and what dictates their power level. But I have a feeling it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B of dungeon level and your level. Ow, 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 ow. That, I knew that was going to come. I should get out of there now. This is our first, like, elite pack. They, of course, have extra life, so making this even extra more long and painful. But we're surviving in terms of getting hit. We took a little bit of fire there. We're taking some poison. It's not killing us. So, survivability, we look like we're fine to be pushing 40 plus. Damage-wise, we're lacking. I mean, we're doing it. This is plain and visible. But we're not... Oh, we see those some nice real crits there. We're not doing it super quick. So this is good knowledge. And I recommend people do this. There's no harm in if you have a higher sigil to use it. See if you can do it. Craft one. I find myself doing these nightmare dungeons, and I have a ton of them, so I can craft the bad ones. The lower ones are things that have suppressor. Ugh. And I have plenty of dust. So craft a high one. Test it. Obviously, don't go too high. Let's be real. None of us are hitting those hundreds, especially at this level of the game. And I mean us low levels in the 70s and the 80s are not going to be pushing hundreds. Now, I will say this. There was a campfire chat dev update about the next big patch. I think they said it's like 13 pages worth of updates and changes. I know the nightmare dungeons are getting a massive buff in terms of, I think, monster density. The fact that you can now, I believe, teleport to them. There's some other stuff too. I don't have the full notes in front of me from the YouTube video. I recommend go checking it out. Necromancer's awful aura is getting fixed here for corpse explosion. However, that's the only real thing they mentioned about Necromancer, and I'm not that excited about. I really wish they'd do something about maybe fixing the AI if they're not going to give us an ability like Command Skeleton. I mean, at least them not being absolute dolts would be nice. But hey, Nightmare Dungeons are getting a nice little buff, so get ready to start running them even more than you're doing now. Oh, we should probably go this way, because odds are the infested guys. So it's probably 1, 2, and 3. No, that wasn't it. So 2 and 3. Ow! Forgot those explode. I want to run by them, but I know if I just run by them, they're going to follow, and I'm going to get a lot more mobs in the next area, and it's not going to help us progress faster, because I have to worry about my squirrely little mobs around here. The other reason I wanted to push this is because I've hit level 78, I've actually gotten to... On the Paragon board, I've got to my 3rd glyph. Now, glyphs are big. They really do increase a lot of damage. So we're actually getting 37.6% increased damage to crowd-controlled enemies. And every time we get an intelligence node, that ups it by another 7.5. So these glyphs are big. I mean, the first one, it's giving our skeletal mages 100%. Well, it was more before. I wonder what happened. Something changed. But it's 100.3 skeletal mage damage increase. And our other glyph is increasing damage reduction and just general minion damage. And this one's really pushing the crowd control. And then once we max, we get that requirement for the intelligence. We're going to be dealing more to increased damage to slowed and chilled enemies. And if they're stunned or frozen, it's more. And we know we have that lovely freeze skeletal mages here. Ooh, this is going to be a tricky room. That damage is going to go through the roof. That might help greatly. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. All this poison being dumped into one spot. Ow! Oh, you may have noticed too, there's been a change in my user interface, the HUD. I changed it to this being in the left side. Not because I hate it all in the bottom. I mean, I didn't mind it. Kind of gave me the nostalgia vibes of, oh, hit the wrong button. Nostalgia vibes for Diablo 2. But I moved it because the chat window was in the bottom left corner, and I find myself having to click down here a lot. And on some random occasions, I don't know what the button combo is, but it would open the chat window while I'm clicking and attacking, which is obviously not good. It's not great. So when you try to spam your abilities, and it doesn't do it because you're typing out the message, it's really frustrating. So moving it to the bottom left moves our chat window to the right, and I think it kind of removed the ability to click on it somehow. I think I was clicking on something in the top right corner of the chat window that was just, I don't know, it was weird. I was getting frustrated, and I was like, let me try this new moving the HUD to the left. It's easily done. You can just go to your menus, find it. I think it's under gameplay, and you can move it over to the left side. And I just wanted it for the moving the chat. And so far, been great. When they have increased health, it's the worst. All right, I'm going to try to... Ooh, look at him. Hit him. No, here's one of the guys. Okay, let's not push in. I've made this mistake before. And you know what? Here's a bit of a strategy for us summoner necromancers. If you can fight in a hallway, fight in a hallway. Don't fight in the big open rooms. I mean, it kind of makes life a little tricky for us because, I mean, look, when there's auras on the ground, we don't have a lot of places we can, or the poison, a lot of places we can go. But it kind of, it funnels our minions into one spot, and it forces them to not go too squarely. They're kind of forced to... yeah. Fight where I want them to fight. Alright, he's dead. Oh no, they explode! I forget. And of course I can't see because of all my lovely corpse explosion fog. Alright, so that room's clear. I'm not even gonna look in there. Let's just go find another person. Alright, all the trash is gone, and something's actually exploding my minions. I've actually lost quite a few. Oh, it's the poison. They're just getting whittled away. And if I don't get the priest up in time, they're toast. But look how many times this thing's gotten frozen. Man, if we can maximize that, we get a couple more levels in us and get that extra bonus from that control glyph, we're gonna see a nice chunk of damage. Where's the last one? Oh, did I literally miss it? Like, if I grabbed that pylon and went to the right, I bet you I would have got it. Oh, I forgot to look at the sword. I remembered because I saw the gem on the ground. Let's take a look real quick. Stop hitting me. Ooh, another... I'm hoping these are giving me, like, at least 40s, but... Alright, see the sword. 20209. Shadow over time, damage over time, crit damage on the medium, ultimate skill damage. Now, bone spear. So this actually might be a really good sword. We'll just add another socket to it. To keep if we do switch over to the bone spear build variant of this. This is obviously the blight, shadow blight variant, where our minions do extra damage in the shadow blight, whereas the bone spear makes everything vulnerable. So you kind of want to stack increase vulnerable damage and crit, and you kind of make up for the loss of the shadow blight. And you can see aspects like that, and I think this is an aspect you want to use that makes the enemies hit beyond the first vulnerable. Bone shards. Yeah. Yeah. So something I might want to keep. And that's something I should say here as well. If you find a weapon that you're like, well, maybe I can use it, keep it. Don't dust it. Don't sell it. Doesn't hurt to hold on to a few pieces of gear so you can kind of switch things out, test different aspects. Yeah. So this is actually going pretty smooth. We're easily pushing 41. We could go higher. I would say survivability-wise, health. Yeah, we could probably push closer to the minions being level 100. All right, let's do this. Let's finish this. Come on. Now, Broodguard is one of the harder enemies, bosses in the game. I mean, the poison is insane. They're very quick moving, and they love to add web everywhere. But as you can see, and then there's some ads. There are some fights that we won't even get to the ad phase, but this one I kind of find I do more than not. Stop it. Where are you? There you are. Come here, minions. Come over here, please. All right. Now this should spell the end for the Broodguard. There we go. Look at that. Oh. Some crits hit and that thing melted. I think that was the crits. Ooh, new shield maybe? Question mark. We got, oh, yep, so I completed a tier 40 plus dungeon. And I think we're going to go back to going, let's level mage. See if we can get that max. But I have them all at 15 for the max size radius. Let's take a quick inventory of the glyphs we received. Or sigils, rather. What did we get? 36. 42. Ooh. Pushing 41, 42, 41, 41. So I do have a couple of these sitting in the wings. I'm going to hold on to them because we know we can do them, but I'm not that fast. I think I'm more confident with like the 36, 35 range. Those are a little bit faster. With that, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my videos. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, leave them in the bottom. Questions, hit me with them. I'm going to end the video with a quick 2-minute fight of a world boss. You're gonna watch the this world boss melt. And thanks for stopping by. Bye.